Magandang hapon po sa lahat ng ating mga kababayan dito sa Taiwan. Kami po mula sa Migrante. Ako si Helda, ang chairperson ng Migrante. And also, board director ng National Homeless Workers Union. And nandito tayo ngayon upang pag-usapan ang worldwide or international na issue ngayon ay ang pandemic COVID-19 outbreak. So, yan po yung ating topic ngayon. Binabati natin ang lahat ng mga kababayan natin from National Homeless Workers Union at sa Migrante, International Taiwan Chapters. Nandito po tayo kasama yung ating guest, si Julia, ang international student from Philippines. Bati ka naman!
Ako po si Julia, member po ng Migrante. Estudyante po ako dito sa Taiwan.
Yes, and we have Lennon from the Serve People Association's shelter here in Taiwan. So, yan. Lately kasi marami tayong mga issues na nasasagap at na nababasa doon sa mga news. Ano nga ba ang nangyayari? So, pag-uusapan natin ngayon is yung mga apektado na lugar dito sa Taiwan, sa mga migrants. And is there any local transmission? Gaano na ba kadami ang infected dito sa Taiwan? So, lahat ng iyan, pati yung protocols ng quarantine. So, yan. Lately kasi, meron tayong, how many na ba? Ilan na ba yung infected dito
sa Taiwan? Around 40 po yung confirmed.
Pero dumagdag na naman, di ba?
No, 50 already.
Just 50, okay. Oh. Pero sa 50 na yon, isa pa lang yung confirm na namatay. Yan. So, maganda yung ginagawa ng Taiwan government pagdating dito sa issue ng COVID kasi talagang nakafocus sila sa nangyayari. And then may nabasa ako sa isang article kanina na mag-i-install na naman sila doon sa mga, kunyari may mga papasok ng Taiwan ng mga turista. After 14 days, magmo-monitor sila. So, ang nabasa ko kanina, magsisend sila via text messages para i-monitor yung kanilang health. So, yan. Sa issue naman ng mga migrant workers tungkol dito sa COVID, kasi ang daming mga problema, like yung mga day off, di ba? So, may mga employer na allowed yung mga workers na mag-take ng day off. So, kung pababasihan po natin kasi yan, it's part of the discrimination. Pero nasa sa atin din yan na mga migrant workers kung want ba natin mag-day off or not. Pero hindi nga pwedeng ang employer yung mag-decide. It's our decision. Kung gusto ninyong mag-day off, you can have a day off. Pero kung ayaw ninyo, nasa sa inyo yan. Pero kung halimbawa gusto nyong mag-day off tapos ayaw ng employer ninyo, that is a part of discrimination. Hindi yan pwedeng ang employer ang magdikta sa inyo. Kasi kahit nasa bahay naman tayo, di ba? Kahit nasa bahay tayo, magkukulong tayo ng buong maghapon. Tapos yung mga employers natin laging lumalabas, di ba? So, mangyayari pa rin, magta-transmit pa rin sa atin. Kahit anong higpit natin sa sarili natin na hindi tayo mahawaan, kung yung kasama naman natin sa bahay ay laging lumalabas, magkakahawaan pa rin yan. So, nasa sa atin ang disiplina, kailangan laging naghuhugas ng kamay, kailangan laging may mask, siyan. So, yes, doon naman sa vacation, ang daming mga questions na ayaw payagan magbakasyon dahil nga sa COVID-19, especially ngayon, naka-community lockdown ang Pilipinas, ang Maynila. So, may mga flights din na affected yan. So far kasi, wala namang sinasabi na bawal umuwi, magbakasyon. Wala namang sinasabing ganon. So, meron tayong natatanggap na mga memorandum from their employers or broker na for the meantime, wag munang magbakasyon kasi nga merong virus. So, yung iba pinapa-extend yung vacation. So, hindi rin po yung employer ang broker ang magdidesisyon niya. Kayo po yung magdidesisyon. But then, kapag halimbawa yung employer or broker yung talagang magdesisyon na i-cancel kung kayo ay nakabili na ng ticket. Pag sila naman yung nag-cancel ng flights ninyo, sino ba ang may responsibility na mag-return ng ticket? 'Di ba? So yung iba kasi ayaw ng broker or employer i-refund, 'di ba? So kung sila naman kasi yung nag-decision, they can refund the ticket actually. So yes, ang pangalawa is yung forced undergo ng quarantine. So we have some concern na in-undergo sila ng quarantine ng employer and broker, and at the same time walang sahod. So there is no work, no pay. So I have to ask Mr. Lennon, is it true that for these migrant workers or employers force the migrant workers to undergo the quarantine? Are they paid the accommodation for the quarantine accommodation? Who is the responsible for it?
Okay, now during the coronavirus period, there are some people they are required to be quarantined, and according to the regulation from the government, if the person is required by the government directly to quarantine at home, and he or she doesn't have a salary during this period, 2 weeks, then he or she can apply for a subsidy from the government. That's 1,000 NT per day, regardless of the nationality. So if any migrant worker, she or he came back from the most affected areas, such as China, mainland China, Macau, Hong Kong, Iran, Italy, South Korea, Japan, etc. Maybe they will be required by the government to quarantine at home for 14 days. But we know, actually most of the migrant workers here, they are not from those countries. So I don't really think there are many migrants that will be required by the government to have a quarantine, unless they might have a transfer flight from Hong Kong, from Macau. That's possible, but I don't think that's too many. Most of the migrants might face another problem, that they are required to have a quarantine by the employer or the broker. That's absolutely another thing. If we heard many stories already, many complaints that the migrants, when they have a vacation back home from the Philippines or from Indonesia, they are required to have a quarantine for 14 days. And they have to pay the hotel, they have to pay the food by themselves. That's absolutely illegal. These workers cannot request for the subsidy from the government because the quarantine is not required by the government. It's required by the employer or the broker. So actually the employer, they have to pay the full salary to the migrants, even during the required quarantine by the employer themselves. And for the food and accommodation, 100%, it must be paid by the employer because it's not required by the government. So if there's any employer or broker ask you that you have to be quarantined, you have to pay your own, that's illegal. Please, you can either contact us or you can call 1955 directly. That's illegal. Okay, so please tell your friends, tell your kababayan, tell your families, tell your loved ones, tell your co-workers, this is illegal. I also heard another case. A caretaker told me that she will have a day off today, but the employer asked her, after taking a day off, because you went out, you will go out, you have to wear the mask for 14 days. And you have to prepare the mask yourself. I would say that's not right. If the employer requires so, then they have to offer the mask every day to the migrant worker. They cannot do that. I also heard many stories that the migrants, they are told not to take a day off, not to take a vacation back home during this period. Actually, that's also illegal. That's also illegal. But we remind everyone to take care, especially if you go out, to wash your hands and wear the mask in the crowded places. But you cannot ban the workers from having their vacation because that's their rights. Will the Taiwanese be banned from having the vacation, having the day off. No, the employer will only tell us, please take care of yourself. Please be clean, wash your hands, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we should do the same to the migrants. We should tell the migrants that you should take care of yourself, okay? Because you should be healthy, so everybody will be healthy. We're in the same place, we're in the same country. Actually, we're in the same planet. Any one of us, if any one of us is sick, it might spread to others. And what's matter is this virus. They don't know the nationality. Okay?
Exactly.
They
Yeah.
will just squeeze in your body whenever they have a chance. It doesn't matter what nationality you are. So please don't discriminate migrants.
Yeah.
I also heard some stories that some restaurants, they have a sign on the restaurant and said that, now we only serve Taiwanese. So if there's any customers going to the restaurant, they will ask, are you Taiwanese? If you're not, please go out. We only serve the Taiwanese. That's totally racism.
Racism.
It's
Yeah.
totally unacceptable. Taiwanese are not safer, actually. Not safer. Maybe we have fewer confirmed cases comparing to some other countries. It's because our government is doing well. They are doing well to protect us, and we have a very strict regulation on that. But it doesn't mean that we are safer. If anyone have a virus spread on us, we will be affected too. So don't do that. And if you know anything like that, you can report to us. You can release in the media. If your own rights is violated, please do something. You can either contact us or you can call 1955 to complain.
Yeah, so yan. Medyo klaro naman po yung paliwanag ni Sir Lennon, ano? Yun nga, discrimination na porque ba migrant workers tayo, ay hihigpitan na ba tayo? So wala silang karapatan para pagbawalan tayong mag-day off, wala silang karapatan na pagbawalan tayong umuwi sa sarili nating bansa para makasama pansamantala yung mga mahal natin sa buhay. So yan, may dagdag ko lang doon sa discrimination, ano, buying the mask also is lots of the migrants suffer for discrimination about this. Yeah.
Let me say something about it.
Yeah.
I think many of you have seen the information from
Yeah.
TV, from Facebook, from social media about the regulation. Okay, so from now, everyone in Taiwan can buy the mask with their ID. For the migrants, you don't have ID, you have your health card.
Yeah.
So better you have your health card. So all of us, we should use our health card to swipe in the pharmacies. Okay, you should see the logo. If you can see the logo of the health, national health insurance, maybe they have. Usually they have. They sell the mask. Okay,
Yeah.
but the problem is, actually the system is not so friendly to the migrants. Each pharmacy, they have a different schedule. Okay, some they open up at 9, so they start to sell at 9. Some they start at 1 p.m. Some maybe 5 p.m. Some 8 p.m. So actually they have different schedules, and you won't know it unless you go there.
Yeah.
Maybe they wrote something on a piece of paper on the door, or you ask the boss.
Oh yeah.
But if you cannot read Chinese, if you cannot speak in Chinese, it's very hard for you to understand.
Exactly.
And another problem is, many migrants don't have their own health card.
Yeah.
All of you have, absolutely, if you are a legal migrant worker, you have the health insurance, but maybe you don't have a health card. Okay, so that'll be a problem. According to the government, for the foreigners in Taiwan, even you don't have a health card, you still can buy it. You can use your passport or ARC, but it's more complicated. The boss in the pharmacy, they have to type or write in, fill in your number.
Yeah.
So this is what the situation. In the pharmacies, usually they have only maybe 1 or 2 staff, or maybe the boss themselves. They have to package the mask, okay, and they have to distribute and sell. Actually, it's a very, very small amount, only 5 NT for one. Actually, they don't have any profits, and they have to spare the time. If they see a foreigner, wait a minute, I'll write down. So that's why many of the pharmacies actually they don't accept
Migrants.
I already have this kind of complaints. Some foreigners, not only the migrants. Even I heard there is a wife of an ambassador. Okay, wife of an ambassador is a white person. Okay, she wants to buy some mask, but she was refused by 2 pharmacies.
Wow.
So but it's not good. But the problem is this, because the system is not so friendly to the migrants. So please, actually your employer, they should provide to you,
Yes,
especially the caretakers. If you're a caretaker, please tell your employer, mom or sir, I need a mask. Please find a way to give me some. At least I need 1 or 2 per week, because many of the caretakers need to take the patient to the hospital, to the any kind of health facilities, to do exercise, to see the doctor. So they need a mask, and also the patient need a mask.
Yeah.
So that's so anyway. If you don't know yet, for how to sell, how to buy it, it depends on the last digit on the health card number.
Yeah.
Actually, the health card number is your ARC number. So just see your ARC number. If the last digit is even number, okay, so it means 2, 4, 6, 8, and 0, and then you can go to buy on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If the last digit is odd number, which means 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, then you can buy on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Everyone can buy on Sunday. That's the rule. That's how it works. But actually, it's not so easy. And actually, from now on, from just a few days ago, we can register online and buy it. So that's another thing. But the problem is, I know most migrants, they don't have a computer, and it's not that friendly for migrants to use it. So anyway, if you don't know how to use it, please ask your employer to offer you mask. That's their responsibility.
Exactly. Kasi may announcement po yung Taiwan government na kailangan talaga i-provide ng employers yung mask. Kasi yung mga employers din na ayaw mag-provide ng mask doon sa kanilang mga caretakers, they should fine. Mayroong multa. Napakalaki po ng multa nun. So, naipaliwanag din ni Sir Lennon, meron apps doon sa map. Kailangan makita ninyo yon. There's a green, red, and yellow, I think. It's like, if you can see in the map, if it's red, it means nothing full. If you buy the mask, blue one is still like 50%. Meron yan, or the green one is like 30%.
It's an account online, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is actually it's not always updated.
Yeah.
It's not always updated because they will report, they will change the number if someone reports. But if you don't report, they don't know it. So it's quite often that you see, oh, it's still green, and then you rush it, but it's gone already.
It's gone already. So minsan may problema sa ganyan. And sometimes also, usually ang Taiwan are using Chinese translation. So napakahirap para sa atin na gamitin din yung mga apps na ginagawa nila. So ayan, ano pa yung mga so maybe this time we can ask Julia for the students. Meron ba kayong mga ganitong karanasan din na racism, mga paano ba na-provide yung mga pangangailangan nila?
Personally po sa amin, dapat po magsimula yung school year namin noong February 17 pa po. Pero dahil po sa naging outbreak, ang naging precaution po, nag-additional 2 weeks pa po sa bakasyon namin na winter break. So, bali March na po nagsimula yung pasukan namin. Tapos, ang naging protocol po sa amin, nung early pa po nung March, ang mga kinakailangan po i-quarantine ay mga galing Hong Kong, Macau, China. Yun po. So, meron po akong kaklase na taga Macau na hanggang ngayon hindi pa po siya nakakabalik kasi parang meron po silang travel ban.
Okay.
Yung mga April pa po siya makaka-resume ng classes. Tapos yung school naman po namin, nag-adjust naman po sila para sa estudyante. So kung kailangan mo daw mag-self-quarantine, kung i-offer ka po nila kung gusto mo mag-self-quarantine, Tapos, bukod po doon, araw-araw po chinecheck yung temperature namin. Bali, sinara po nila lahat ng yung mga maliliit pong gate ng school namin. So, sa main gate na lang po lalabas-pasok lahat para mas madali po nila ma-monitor. Tapos, arawan po yung check ng temperature kahit po kami sa dorm. Sa bawat dormitory po, may nakasupply na thermometer para i-check. Tapos araw-araw po, pagkatas po mag-check ng temperature, bibigyan ka ng sticker. So yun po, chine-check po nila kung nag-check ka na ng temperature, ganyan. Tapos kahit po yung yung mga teacher po namin, ako po nung unang galing ko po ng Pilipinas. Tapos wala po kasi akong dalang face mask. Sabi po ng teacher, required daw po na mag-mask kami. As in, check po nila na lahat ng estudyante kailangan po naka-mask. Ganyan. So, nung dumating po ako na wala akong mask, binigyan naman po nila ako. Sinupplyan po nila ako ng dalawang mask. Tapos, after daw po nun, ako na daw po pwedeng bumili sa National Health Insurance. Pero so far po, hindi pa po ako successfully bumili doon. Kasi po, laging out of stock na daw po yung sa
Okay. So, yan. Kagaya din ng karanasan ng ating mga international students, naging karanasan din nating mga migrant workers. Yan, maging lang din tayo, pagka meron kayong mga nai-encounter na mga ganyang senaryo, kasi for the past 3 weeks, meron tayong videos, may nagpasa sa akin ng videos na nagta-try out siyang bumili ng mask pero ni-refuse siya, and then yung next to her is Taiwanese. So, binigyan siya. So, it's part of the racism actually. Pagka ganyan, pwedeng i-report. Meron namang hotline binibigay yung National Health dito sa Taiwan. Pwede ninyong kontakin na merong mga pharmacies na nagre-refuse sa mga migrants na bumili ng mask. So yan, second natin na topic is about din doon sa levels ng quarantine. Yeah. So we can ask Len, what is the level of the quarantine?
Yeah, there's 3 levels, but
Yeah.
mostly all you need to do is all you need to know is if you have travel history
Yeah.
of the how to say that, influenced history. For example, travel history means you travel from the most affected countries.
Okay.
That's but it's always adding. In the beginning, it's only China.
Hong
but
Kong,
now
Macau,
it's
yeah.
more and more.
Yeah.
So if you have been travel from those areas. And second is if you have this history of you have maybe you might have the chance to touch with someone who might have a disease.
Okay.
So that's another thing. So there are 3 levels. But anyway, all of these quarantines are required by the government.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you are, and there will be a notice, there will be a written notice from the government. So if you are under one of the quarantine levels, you will be required by the government.
Okay.
Really.
Oh, yeah. So, for example, yung recent din na galing ng Pilipinas na Taiwanese na nag-positive din ng coronavirus. So, pagka ganyan, halimbawa nagta-travel kayo papunta ng Taiwan, or either migrant workers kayo or mga turista, pag once isa sa inyo merong nag-positive ng coronavirus, so lahat ng mga kasabayan mo doon sa eroplano ay i-undergo ng quarantine yon. Kapag may nag-positive na isa, kasi baka nagkakahawaan So, yan yung isa din ng mga possibilities na bakit kami kina-quarantine, wala na kaming sintomas. So, baka especially only ang Taiwan government lang yung mag-decide kung i-quarantine kayo o hindi. Yan, maliwanag po yan, Pero kung employer or broker, actually hindi naman siya yung required talaga ng gobyerno na mandatuhan lahat ng mga employer o mga brokers na i-quarantine niyo yung mga workers yan. Hindi, wala po yan. So, sometimes kasi, ginagamit itong pagkakataon na ito, itong crisis na ito, para pagsamantalahan yung mga migrante, yung mga migrant workers. So, sige, magka-quarantine ka. Yung iba nga dyan, nagka-quarantine mismo sa loob ng dormitoryo. So, yung iba dyan, hindi naman sila, wala naman silang travel history, hindi naman sila umuwi. So, minsan nagre-reklamo sila, bakit ganun, kina-quarantine yung kasama namin, kasama rin namin sa home. Yan, mali po yan, mali. So, ginagamit nila yung pagkakataon nito para mahuhut-hutan na naman yung mga migrante. Kasi nga, yung policy ng broker, pag once nag-quarantine, wala ring salary. Mali din po yun. So, pwede ninyo po yan i-report sa labor. So, or pag ganyan, mayroon naman tayong embahada dito, yung ating MECO, nandiyan sila, pwede kayong humingi ng tulong sa kanila, lapit lang po kayo sa kanila, they can help you. So, yes, we have to proceed. Then, ano nga ba yung, ginagawa ng ating mga embahada ngayon tungkol dito sa crisis na ito. So far kasi, wala pa tayong nakukuhang information kung ano yung mga hakbang na ginagawa nila. So, kapag ka po kayo mayroong mga reklamo tungkol nga dito, na related dito sa COVID-19, pwede ninyo po puntahan ang ating mga embassies, ang MECO, we have Tico Taipei, Taichung, and Kaohsiung. Pwede kayong humingi ng tulong sa kanila. Yan. And then, yun nga, sa level din po ng bakasyon, pwede kayong magbakasyon. Anytime, pwede kayong umuwi. Hindi kayo pwedeng pagbabawalan na bawal umuwi. Kayo ba sa school, pinagbabawalan din ba kayo umuwi for vacation for the meantime? Like ngayon, wala naman kayong pasok.
Ngayon po, yung ang flexible po sa amin is kung kailan ka po mag-resume ng classes. Kung
okay.
kunyari po dun sa estudyante po na nasa Macau na hindi po makabalik, ang ginagawa po nila, ina-upload na lang po online yung klase. Naka-record po siya.
Okay. Good. So yan, maliwanag yung ating usapan, yan, sa compensation, there is a compensation, like recently, some of the migrant workers na I just posting the Facebook about the 1,000 per day for the compensation for those who wants to undergo the quarantine. And then I just read some comments like, okay, it's better to undergo the quarantine because the compensation is higher than the salary. So how is it going?
Well, there is a subsidy you offered by the government, but it's only required. I mean, there are two. Okay, simply. To say that there are two conditions. One is you have to be required by the government.
Okay.
So if the government asks you to be quarantined, you fit the first condition. Well, actually, there are different kind of quarantine. It's very complicated. Anyway, the strictest one is they will take you to a centralized maybe hospital or a dorm to be quarantined. That's the most serious one. Like those from the ship. Princess Diamond. They will be put in a secret place for 2 weeks. And the second is you have to stay at home for 2 weeks. Okay, that's another one. And then the third one is you just take care of yourself for 2 weeks. You can go, but you have to monitor yourself. Every day you have to report. Okay, so if you're under one of the quarantines, the two actually, the third is not really a quarantine. The third is only watch yourself. If you're under the first two quarantines, and second condition is you don't have a salary. If your employer said, I don't pay you because you are in quarantine, you are not working, you are not offering your work, your service. So for sure, if you are quarantined, required by the government, and second is if you don't have salary, then you can apply for that. That's 1,000 per day. But just as I said earlier, if you are not required by the government, if the quarantine is required by the employer or the broker, you are not qualified to apply that.
Okay. So yan, clear. Kapag hindi po yung gobyerno yung mag-required na mag-undergo ng quarantine, wala pong 1,000 na compensation. Yan. So, wag po kayong magsakit-sakitan dyan. Mahirap na. Recently we have the, we have the petition. We have to talk about for the undocumented because this is also part of these issues because the 33rd one, 32, yeah, yung pang 32 na infected is undocumented, kung alam niyo yun, yung isang Indonesian. So, after that, medyo nagkaroon ng issue na magkakaroon ng crackdown dito sa mga undocumented workers. So some of local organization ay nananawagan sa gobyerno na bigyan ng pansamantalang amnesty doon sa mga undocumented workers na kung sakali ay bigyan sila ng chance na maging legal dahil nga dito sa issue ng outbreak. So kasi pagka actually ay what is it? ICRT already got an interview for me regarding this issue. So, ang kasi diyan is hindi natin alam, 'di ba, na mostly kasi ang apektado sa mga TNT or undocumented workers. Di sila makabili ng sarili nilang mask kasi nga kailangan ng ID. So, even magkasakit sila, napakahirap para sa kanila na kumonsulta sa doktor dahil natatakot sila na baka mamaya hulihin sila, i-deport sila. Alam naman natin na mas nangangailangan din sila ng trabaho. Pag once, wala na yung inaasahan ng pamilya yon. So, let me clarify to Lennon, what is it? Like, why? Why they're calling for the amnesty for the migrant workers?
Okay. Actually, I believe many activists, advocates for migrant workers have these thoughts for a long time. But this is the time that's more urgent, so we put it.
Okay.
Because number 32, she is an undocumented worker.
Mm-hmm.
And after the news released, there are some negative news and opinions and comments in the society, and many discrimination against her. And after that, the mayor in Taiwan City, he announced that, we will have a crackdown. We have to search the undocumented migrant workers. And also the one big head on the MOL, the Ministry of Labor, also said that, we will conduct a crackdown, something like that. Okay, and we will encourage them to surrender. So it's a very unfriendly atmosphere, especially under the threat of the coronavirus. We know it's very hard for them to buy the mask. So actually, I wrote an article in Chinese just after the new system of buying the mask. So I just show it's very hard for the migrant workers. But actually in that article, I didn't mention undocumented yet. It's even harder. It's much harder for the undocumented. I already told you how hard it is for the migrants. But for the undocumented workers, they don't even have a legal ID. So they cannot buy at all. They cannot buy. There's no way for them to buy. So it's totally dependent on their employer. So actually, I already told some journalists, I already expressed my ideas that the government actually, they should provide to the hospital, to the employers, who might undocumented workers. So after these two kind of announcements, there are some NGOs and scholars. They started to write. So one is the GWO, Global Workers Organization. The lead, Miss she wrote an article to post on the media. She proposed again. This is not the first time. At least this is the second time. She proposed to have a general amnesty for the undocumented migrant workers. And then the MENT, and the scholars. There are, I think, 5 scholars. They wrote an article to propose that also, which is slightly different, but the general purpose is the same, to have an amnesty and also to a genuine medical services to all the migrant workers who might be affected, and encourage them to. The general concept is like this: we should have an amnesty to them, especially to those who are afraid, so they come out to be tested. Because if you want to arrest them, if you want to crack down, no one will come out. We heard some information that the number 32. During the few days that she didn't come out, actually she has been going out with some other migrant workers, and some of them are undocumented too. They are afraid. but they dare not to come out.
Yeah.
They are too afraid because they will be arrested, they will be deported, so they
Yeah.
don't want to come out. So you have to encourage them to come out. The more you crack down, the more they will hide themselves.
Exactly.
The more dangerous everyone will be.
Yeah, they will
So that's
getting worse.
yeah. So that's a general concept. And also, so Tiwa and the MENT,
Yeah.
they led a protest or a press conference last week in
Yeah,
front
yeah.
of the executive yuan. So all of us went there. And after that, all together, we launched an online petition. So it's in Chinese, in English, in Bahasa, in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
So we also encourage all of you
Yes.
to join this
Yeah.
online
Petition.
petition to demand the government to have an amnesty to the
Yeah.
undocumented workers.
Yeah.
They are not criminals.
Exactly.
Yeah, the
Yes.
people are not illegal. It's the system who made them seems like illegal.
Right.
And actually, all of them, they are still sacrificing themselves. They are still doing the services to the economy and social welfare in Taiwan.
That's right, yeah. Oh yeah, kasi sa atin kasi, not only, di ba, pag once kasi sinasabing undocumented ka, TNT ka, criminal ka, hindi po yan. Pag sinasabi kami sa organization, we stand for the all migrant workers, whether you are undocumented or documented. Pag once migrant workers ka, we protected all of us. So, hindi kasi minsan some of the criticism like, you're protecting criminal people. No, they are not a criminal. Ang issue, bakit sila nag-undocumented? Because of the system. Dahil naaabuso sila. Sino ba ang dapat natutulong sa kanila, di ba? Is the government, both government, Taiwan or other
Sending countries.
yes, sending country are really responsible for the rights of the migrant workers? Of course not. Kasi kung very responsible sila, there is no undocumented migrants at all here in Taiwan. Not only here, but around the world. Kasi nga, yung karanasan nila na namamatay na sila sa hirap, nahihingi ng tulong, nothing. So, ang nagiging resulta na lang, wala silang malalapitan, di ba? Kahit lalapit, wala namang tutulong. So, nag-undocumented sila. They are not illegal, actually. They are not a criminal. So,
And actually, if you talk about the criminality,
yeah.
their criminal rate is much lower than Taiwanese.
Yes, oo. And then napakalaki din ng ambag nila sa ekonomiya, not only for the economy in Taiwan, but also for the sending country. Kasi yung pamamagitan pa lang ng remittances, so malaki din yung ambag ng mga kababayan nating mga undocumented. So, again, thank you for all the local organization, solidarity support to the world, what is it? World
Global Workers
Global,
Organization.
yes, global
And also
organization.
MENT, Tiwa.
And MENT, Tiwa, thank you so much dahil binibigyan nyo ng chance na maging boses ng mga migrante dito sa Taiwan. So, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lennon, for your time today.
Yeah,
and Julia, thank you so much. At asahan ninyo po sa susunod, magkakaroon din tayo ng mga live stream na pwede kayong mag-suggest kung ano yung pag-uusapan, kung regarding ba sa related sa work ninyo, sa lahat-lahat. Pwede kayong mag-suggest and tatalakayin natin yan para mas lalong magkaroon kayo ng idea, magkaroon kayo ng mas malawak na kaalaman tungkol dito. So, mabuhay po tayong lahat. Ingat po kayo.
And last but not least,
Yeah.
National Home-Based Workers Union is
Yes.
a platform for all the domestic workers in Taiwan, including the domestic helpers and caretakers. So we encourage every domestic workers to join National Home-Based Workers Union.
Yes,
Maraming
yan.
salamat po.
Yan sila yung boses ng mga kasambahay. Yan. So, huwag po kayong mag-atubiling magpamiyembro dahil yan naman po ay registered yan sa Ministry of Labor. So, legal po yan. Yan. Mabuhay po tayong mga migrante dito sa Taiwan. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat.
I-turn off na.